Okay, well, here we are. Oil change again, and this time I'm doing it at the 50-hour mark because I noticed my last flight I had some high oil pressure during takeoff. During cruising it was back down to the normal, but during the run-up it was actually in between the yellow, well, right at the end of the yellow and right near the red. So I'm going to fire it up here. I'm going to let it warm up. You know, that warm oil flows out easier than the cold oil. So we're going to fire it up here, and I'm going to run it and see if I can get this pressure to go up or not, and then we'll make my decision from there. We got it fired up. We got some good oil pressure right now, as you can see. Fuel pressure is good too. Let me shut the fuel pump off. And oil temperature will soon be coming up. So, all right. So the manual says to let it warm up between 800 and 1200 RPM, and we're at 1200 right now. And my oil pressure seems to be fine right now. Still needs to be changed though. Still needs to be changed. Yeah. Oil pressure seems to be fine. Let me see what I can get if I slowly here. Well, I'm not getting anything. Nothing any different. Well, I guess we'll just let it run up for a little bit, and I'll be right back, and we'll see what's going on with this. There we go. Now, look at my oil pressure. That thing just climbed. I'm only at static RPM. Yeah, I'm not liking that. And let me back it off. Yeah. So, first things first, let's try to change oil and see if it's got a clogged filter. We'll send our sample out and see what's going on from there. Okay, yeah, 50 hours is probably extending it a little too far. This oil is dark. Holy cow, that's 50 hours worth right there. I think I'm going to switch it up and probably do 35. I was just talking to my friend who said that he does his every 35 now. So let me try that. You know what? Oil change is certainly a lot better than replacing a motor. So yeah, 35 is what I'm going to start looking for on here. Okay, well, I just got yelled at for changing my oil out here on the ramp. Apparently, you're not allowed to do that. But you know what? They never told me that before, so now that they told me, I guess I won't do it here anymore. In all honesty, I actually wanted to go up to Umatilla, pick up my oil today, and then I was going to swing by a friend's house over at Grassroots. You remember the last time I went with them? I was going to swing over there and do the oil change, but I was a little concerned about that oil pressure being so high during the run-up. So I opted just to do the oil change here, do this on my own, and then I'll head over there and give the old girl a bath once I get up there. But I got to tell you, this oil filter was ridiculously tight. There's no way that was torqued to 20 foot-pounds, and I just read that it was supposed to be torqued to 20 foot-pounds. I don't know if that's actually correct or not, but let me tell you, that was on there probably 100 foot-pounds on it was ridiculous. I was bending the end of it, trying to get the wrench on there to get it off. It was horrible. So I finally got it off, and I got the new oil filter on there, and now I'm going to button things up and put some oil in it and see what I get out of this. So let's see where we get from here. Hopefully that oil pressure comes down, right? just when you think you got everything cleaned up inside and you wiped everything down because you know it's not a clean job, it still keeps dripping out. It still keeps dripping out. It's like where are you dripping from? Like I've wiped this entire thing down. Oh, I see. Hang on, I see a little spot here. Let me grab this. See if I can get it. You can see it right down there. Let me see, did I get it? Yep, got it. But even then, that's not a whole lot. I mean, it's oh well. You know, it's I don't know about anybody else's 235, but my 235 does not like to have 12 quarts of oil in it. It will hold 12 quarts of oil, and I will blow through 3 of those quarts immediately. Just gets blown right out on the bottom of the plane. And then it stops at 9, and it loves to be between 9 and 8. And that's its happy point, and that's where I'll keep it, between 9 and 8. So I'm only gonna put 9 quarts of oil in it. And that might be wrong according to some people. But that's what I'm gonna do, because I don't feel like wasting all of my money on oil just to get blown out and have to wash the bottom of my plane with degreaser. So that's where I'm at. 2 more quarts. Put some safety wire on that oil filter right there, and I'll be done. And not only that, but I just missed a rocket launch too. I don't even see it. Daggone it. That's what I get for paying attention, right? Oh well. Maybe we'll hear the booster come back, break the sound barrier when it's landing. Well, everything's buttoned up. You know, using this safety wire, it's been a long time since I used that in the used it in the military. Not too bad. I'm gonna say it's not too shabby. I thought I did a good job for a few years since I've actually touched it. So I have a 1-inch wrench for this in the back, and then I had a 1-inch wrench, which was a torque wrench to torque it to 20 pounds. And the nipple that is right down here, I'm going to see if I can point to it. No, I can't. You can kind of see it. It's got oil all over it. I'll highlight it on the video part of it. But that is a 1/2 inch. This is what I got here to drain it with. This is 1/2 inch inside OD and a 3/8. I'm sorry, 1/2 inch hose with 3/8 inside diameter. There you go. Blah blah blah. All right, I'm gonna button this thing up, and then we're gonna start it up and pray that my oil pressure comes back to normal. Let's see. Okay, so we just fired up whiskey, and immediately we got good oil pressure. I like it. We're gonna let some of this oil circulate around for a minute before I decide to run it up to 1800, or maybe even do just the static RPM. Make note of my hours, 39.91. I'm getting close to that 4,000 mark. I think I ought to break it this weekend, because we are actually going to be doing a poker run out of Lakeland. So I'm pretty excited about that. It's supposed to be for tomorrow, but actually it's going to be on Sunday. Weathers are going to be better on Sunday. So, and the other thing, I thought I had 9 quarts. I only had 8 quarts of oil. So I'm working on 8. I got to go out and get another quart just to make sure that I'm keeping whiskey where she loves to be. So this oil's been circulating for about, I don't know, 3 to 5 minutes. So I'm going to give it about a solid 5 to 10, and then I'm going to run it up. We'll see what we get. Well, after the run up, I went out and looked in the engine compartment, and lo and behold, there was an oil leak. I couldn't figure out where it was, so I taped my camera in here, and I found this leaking down just under the oil filter. So I thought it was the oil filter that was leaking, which it turned out it wasn't. And this is after taking it off and cleaning it, going buying another new oil filter. I finally figured out it was the oil temperature sensor just above the oil filter that was leaking. So we got the oil leak fixed, but we never did get the oil pressure problem fixed. And so Whiskey Blue has gone off to the doctor's office, and she's been admitted for diagnosis, and hopefully we'll get back soon. So we never did make it to the Lakeland Poker Run. Hopefully this isn't a very expensive fix, but nonetheless it is down for maintenance. So hopefully we'll get back to you within a week and let you know what's going on.